Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and this is Regular Guy Training. So today we're going to talk about Earmor. And besides the fact that's a really, really goofy name, look, there's a lot of stuff that's out there as far as electronic ear protection is concerned. You got a lot of budget-conscious stuff. You have a lot of stuff that can hook up to radios. There's a wide variety of things that are out there for different mission profiles or whatever it is that you're doing. Whether you're just like recreationally plinking, doing a whole lot of training, but you're not planning on doing a ton else, so you just need good electronic ear protection that seal good and do whatever. So because there's a lot of stuff to consider as far as that's concerned, what we do need to talk about is, okay, what do I look for if we're talking about, just as for instance, like the namesake of the channel is concerned, you're just a regular guy going out doing a whole bunch of training. You don't got to worry. You're not worried about radios, none of that stuff. So there's a few things that I need my electronic ear protection to do. A, I have to have directional hearing, good directional hearing of what's going on. Because if I can close my eyes and stuff can happen around me and I don't know what direction it's from, that could quite possibly be unsafe, depending on what type of training courses or training that you do with your friends or whatever is concerned, right? I have to be able to pick up direction of audio. So that needs to happen. For these, right, they do that really well. It's a little goofy when you start them up. It takes a while. Like, you can hear it powering or stepping up its ability to actually like pick up sound. It's weird. It's like a slow burn power up, but whatever. As far as directionally, I can hear stuff going on around me, right? So that's a very big thing. If nothing else works that good with it, it has to be able to do that, right? So in that, it does pretty good. The next thing is I need a little bit of survivability out of the stuff, because I don't go home just because it's raining, right? You guys, a lot of you have seen me with like a set of Peltor range guards that you can get like $4 that you can get at friggin' Walmart, right? But I'll have the same set on like all year for a year and a half, plus, right? On a single set of batteries, they work good. They just keep on powering up, and that works great, right? These have not balked once as far as just weather is concerned. I've been rained on pretty hard, tons of sweat. I put these on in the snow. They do that part just fine. Okay, check. Auto shut off feature. Especially at the end of my day when I'm exhausted from trying real hard for hours, I will forget to turn off ear protection. Like real old Peltors way back in the day. A lot of us went through 1,000 AAAs, okay, and having to pop the freaking muffs off them, right, to replace the batteries because they were manual shut on and shut off. They didn't have an auto shut off. So you come back after like a week and a half, and then you realize, oh crap, those are still on. So I kind of need an auto shut off, because I start getting forgetful when I'm just trying to shovel my crap back into the car and go, right? So this has that. Love that. Good controls, just because I don't want to just sit there and fight with it. And this does just fine. Press, hold, turn on. Freaking one side goes up, one side goes down. It's all on one side of your head. That's dope. This, right? The stock one of these, like, yeah, okay, cool. A lot of people have, like their coverings for them that got like the crazy cushions in them and that kind of stuff. I personally don't need all that. I just need a little bit of padding in here so I can throw it on top of a hat. If I have to put it underneath a helmet, which I don't do that anymore, but back in the day when I did, it's not like messing with my padding or any of that. The trend of guys doing that is pretty much over with now, so it's kind of a moot point. But I have to be able to wear these things all day and it just not kill my head. And the default for this actually works out pretty good. I don't have to worry about throwing coverings over the top of these and having big, tall cushions stick up out of there. I don't have to worry about any of that. So I'm nice and happy with that myself. Battery life. Now, look, I don't need the craziest battery life ever. But what I'm used to is throwing a set of AAAs into, electronic ear protection now, and I'm good for basically the year. I've had these for about a year, right? Actually, a little over. And these a little over a year, and I've changed like 5 sets of batteries in them. So, am I going to sit here and say it has terrible battery life? No, but it's noticeably short. That's all I really have to say on that. Now, again, there are people with different stuff out there. There's aftermarket products out there with like gel cups and all kinds of cool things like that. However, when I have a set of ear protection, I would like to just have the stock cups, not be a pain. For instance, like the stock cups on walkers, it's like just putting straight plastic on your head, especially when it's cold. It's like bolting rocks to the side of your dome, and I hate that, right? These, they squish a little bit, and that works. But once they start getting used a little while, they just kind of form fit into one spot, and they kind of don't uncrush anymore. Curiously, they still seal, right? So, once they're on my head, and I got everything adjusted the way that they should, you can actually see it. They don't come unsealed, which is fine, but it makes it just a little bit less comfortable. It's not crazy by any means because there is some cushioning in here, but it makes it a little less comfortable because it just, after a while, it just kind of quit uncrushing itself, right? So, realistically speaking, I mean, what more can I really say about a set of ear protection? It does the jobs it has to. They're not exactly my favorite, though, just because, it's annoying a little bit to have to worry about, throwing extra sets of AAA batteries. Like, I got to carry them around now because at any, if I forget about it long enough, I'm going to need a set, right? Versus, for instance, like a set of Peltor contacts or even the range guards, right? I throw a set of AAAs in that thing, and I'm just good for a really long time, like a really long time. And others have different types of electronic ear protection, and a lot of times they'll tell you the same thing, where it's like, yeah, throw a set of double AAAs or whatever batteries that they're using, and I forget that it takes batteries sometimes, right? I've heard that before, and that's not the most unreasonable thing I've ever heard, because you just don't change them ever, right? So, not exactly my favorite thing in the world to deal with, but honestly, is it like a game breaking thing for me? It's not gonna like be like, oh, these are the worst, and whip them in the trash, right? So, that is what it is. But all that said, I mean, while there's little tiny quirks about it that are not exactly favorable to me personally, like, I can't really knock them. They do their job, man. I mean, it's like a set of socks. Yep, my head's warm. So a lot of people have been asking me about these, so here you go. They do their job. I don't even know what they cost, really, because my buddy Scott had a couple sets of these, and he's just kind of like, review it. So I did. So, not the greatest thing ever, but they work. So, that said, if you guys want to come out and train with us, you absolutely can. We have stuff on the calendar, and I'm getting ready to put more stuff on the calendar here fairly soon. As we go along, I'm going to put more stuff there. I'm going to Florida this coming weekend, and I'm also going to like Pennsylvania and a bunch of other places, right? So I also do private courses as well. If you want to talk about that, we can, you can reach out to me. My email is actually pretty easy to, check out on the website, and we can start going back and forth with my requirements on private courses, because there's a bunch of stuff that we go through. But I do that also, so we can sit there and talk about it if you want us to come out for a private course. If you want to support us through Patreon, you absolutely can. With YouTube super duper duper like turbo demonetizing at this point now, like everything gun guy related, especially with like the recent change in changes in like service agreement and that kind of stuff, like everything is getting super duper like turbo demonetized. So if you want to help us out through there, throw a couple of nickels at us. That really does help. It helps us keep things moving. And if you want to get something out of it, $41 a month allows you to train with us as much as you want to, unless it's something that is like a logistical pain, like vehicle classes, for instance. I got to bring the vehicles in, and then I got to make sure they get sent out after we're finished like exploding them, stuff like that. But yeah, you can jump on board. I would have killed for that kind of deal. So, but that said, if you want to check us out on Facebook, we got a page for that too. And I'm done with the plugs. So remember, guys, regular guy's firearm is the last defense against tyranny. Easy.